We are back, and now we're on lesson 3, where we're going to talk all about how students can practice the skills that they're learning through their remote learning path. So as we do this, we're going to talk about using your regular resources that you already have and how you're going to digitize them so that students can use them. And we're going to use the snipping tool, the Cam Scanner app, and different digital tools that are on Google Slides in order to accomplish this. And then we're going to talk about how students will answer. So how do they show their answers to their questions or to the things they're practicing? And how can we hold them accountable to doing their work? So we're going to do this through different types of ways of creating answer blanks for students, giving keys for them to check their work. We're going to use copy paste features, and we're even going to use some backlinks that students can link their work to. So we're going to go through this one step at a time and actually build on our learning path that we're creating about symmetry. And I'm going to show you how you can use each of these skills in lots of different ways to teach and have students practice what they're learning. Okay, so we are back at the learning path that we started, and the last thing we did in this last lesson is create some student directions in this video. And so here's the video, and I told you in that video that I would show you how we got this worksheet. So this worksheet was one of the worksheets that we put on our plan as we were planning what we were going to teach, and it was this page 16. So all I had to do was go to that file and go to page 16, and there's that practice sheet. So I'm going to use this amazing tool that's built into any PC, and it's called the snipping tool. So to get that snipping tool, down here in the search bar, all you have to do is type snip, and then you'll see the snipping tool right here. If you right click on it, you can pin it to your taskbar. Mine is already pinned, so mine says unpin, but down here, it's on my taskbar so that I can access it and use it just as easily as possible. So I'm going to click new so I can get a new snip, and all I have to do is put a box around the work that students are going to be doing. So this is the actual work. It copies it automatically once the snip releases. So then all you have to do is go back into your file and then press Control V to paste it, or you can do any kind of paste shortcut or keyboard command. So there it is. So that's all you have to do to get actual digital material into your learning path. So that couldn't be any simpler. So now that we have our workshop here, we have to think about how are the students going to answer. So the video, I showed you how students were going to complete this activity using a digital tool of Google Slides. But lots of times you can just add a text box. So if I just insert a text box, maybe I wanted them instead to write the number of lines of symmetry for each one of these figures. Once you have one text box, if you just select it, you can press Control D to duplicate it, and then you can just drag it to the next. So I often put question marks and even may change the color to make it stand out so that the students know that they need to be typing something right there in the answer box. Okay, so that is basically all you have to do. If you have a worksheet that's already a digital file, just screenshot the worksheet and paste it right on the slide for students to work with. And think about how they're going to answer. So that was kind of the first thing that we had in our plan, was this practice worksheet. We'll get to the key later when we get to the lesson about assessing students. But I also have a couple of different games that I want the students to play. Now, the thing about games is they're fun, but they have a point, and that point is for students to learn. So you want to make sure there's some kind of accountability built in to their learning path. And so what I do is I have students screenshot their results. So most of the time when you play a game like this, you will get some results. Down here it shows how that students are doing. So basically what I would do is instruct the students to play the game, but then to screenshot or snip their results and paste them in. So as I'm going to go ahead and add that to our learning path. So I'm going to click a new slide. So here is our new slide, and okay, so I'm just going to do that so kids know what to do. I'm going to give them the link. So all I'm going to do is paste the link there. It automatically links it so that it's clickable for the students. Okay, so then all I need to do is give them the instructions. So I'm going to insert a text box. Play the game until you get a perfect score. Screenshot your score and paste it below. Okay, so basically I've given the students the link to go play the game. They're going to click the link, and then I've told them what to do. Play the game until you get a perfect score. And then I showed them how they're going to hold themselves accountable to that learning. So basically, once the students play the game, they would use the snipping tool or the screenshot tool of that Chromebooks have, and then just get it. And then as they're learning, all they have to do is paste it here. Okay, so that's another way you can use online learning, or even different programs that you have access to through your school. This is a way to have all of your answers and all of the results that students do throughout their learning path come back to one place. So when you're checking on your students' mastery, you don't have to go to this side and that side and this side and open up a bunch of files. Once you have their learning path opened up and you're looking through it, then you'll know exactly how they're doing, what they've accomplished and what they haven't accomplished. Games are a fun way to do this, and the kids love playing them, and you'll love that you know that they did a good job and they got a good score while they played. Sometimes the regular resources you have aren't exactly perfect for digital learning. So in my plan, I wanted to use my interactive notebook pages. Normally they get cut out and glued into the student's notebook, but the information is good and I feel like they needed to see it. So here I went ahead and screenshot both of the pages. They were just pages from my files that I use, and I screenshot them and pasted them on here. But they're not exactly perfect for learning because the students are supposed to cut out the ones that have symmetry and put them in a pocket of symmetrical figures. So that's not going to really work with a digital learning path. And so what I'm going to do instead is have students mark which ones are symmetrical with a check mark. So you can go into Google Images and just find a check mark. I'm just going to copy it and then going to paste it right onto my slide. So now I have a check mark that they can drag over any of the different figures that are symmetrical. One trick about finding ones is if you search for what you're looking for and then you put PNG, which is the type of file with a transparent background, you're more likely to find ones that have a transparent background that shows underneath. See that? So I need there to be more than one check mark so that students can drag it on there. So all I have to do is press Control D to duplicate it. So now I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that should probably be enough. If I group them all together, I can make a stack of them. All you have to do is right click, align it horizontally to the center, and then right click again, align it vertically to the middle. And now it looks like one, but it actually is a stack of check marks. So I want to make it clear to the students what to do. So I'm going to insert a text box and just tell them to drag a check mark over any figure Okay, so I'm telling them to drag a check mark over any figure that has at least one line of symmetry. So they'll know what to do. You can even change the text color if you want. And you can add more information to the slide. So I may want to make sure that they read the notes carefully. So I'm going to make another text box. And just down here off the slide, you can use this extra area around for other things. The students will still see it. So here I'm going to say, make sure you read the notes carefully. Okay, and I want to make it a little bigger, so I'm just going to use the regular processing tools like any program has, Microsoft Word or whatever you're used to using. And so now I have this extra little note for students, make sure you read carefully. So this is one way that you can take activities and with a little creativity and flexibility, you can make something that's not designed to be consumed online. You can make it answerable in a different kind of way. So the next thing we're going to look at is, what if you already have activities that are digital in nature? So I know that if you go on to Teachers Pay Teachers, there's thousands of different activities that are already digital. And most of those were created in Google Slides. And so what you can do is you can take as few or as many of those slides that you want students to complete, and you can put them into your learning path. So here I have an activity. It has directions, so I want to keep the direction slide. And maybe I just want to maybe have 3 or 4 slides for the students to complete. So over here, I'm clicking in the slide sorter while I'm holding the shift key or the control key and getting all the slides I want the students to complete. So once they're selected over here, I just need to copy them. I'm going to press Control C, and I want to go put them in the learning path so the students don't have to go from here to here to here to here to learn. Remember, I said that one of the main goals for the structure of a remote learning path is for it to be vertical in nature so that students know exactly where to go from here to here. So I'm going to go, I know that I was going to use this as a practice on day 2. So I'm going to go to the very end and press over here in the slide sorter. If I press Control V for paste, they will all appear right here. So now I don't have to do really much work for these ones because just keep original styles. I don't have to do any work because I know they were actually created to be digital and there's already directions to go. So the only thing I would have to do was eventually come up here and tell the students what slides that's on. So the next thing I'm going to show you is another strategy you can use where you share a file with students and then maybe they type in that file or do something with it and then share it back with you. So this is really useful for basically any grade level or any different type of skill that you're trying to teach. So in my plan, I had on the assessment section to do a brain dump, which is basically where the students write down everything that they know about the topic or have learned about the topic. So that is something that they're going to do. So I went ahead and created a new slide and labeled it Do a Brain Dump. And now I'm going to show you how to share a file with the students. They're going to have their own file to write the brain dump in. And then they are going to share the results back with me right on this slide. So that with this learning path, everything is available in this one file that you need to get or you need to turn in. So what I'm going to do is in a new tab, I'm going to go and I'm going to type in doc.new. So that is going to just open up a brand new blank Google document that I can write in. So I'm just going to give the students the instructions on what to do. Write down everything you know about symmetry. Okay, so there are the instructions for the assignment, and now I need to get some kind of way to pass this paper out to the students. So what I'm going to do is click over here where it says share, and let's see, got to name it first. Okay. All right, so right up here it says get shareable link. This is extremely important because if your link is not shareable, then other people, including your students, won't be able to open it. So I'm going to click get shareable link, and then it automatically copies it to your clipboard. So this is the shareable link. I'm going to copy it just to make double sure. And then what I want to do is force the students to have their own copy. So in a new tab, I'm just going to go ahead and paste the link. Notice that it ends with edit USP sharing. I don't want the students to be able to edit it. Then they'll all be writing all over each other's work. So I'm going to replace that with the word copy. So the link stays exactly the same, except for the very end, I'm going to change to copy. Now I'm going to copy the link. And so I have this link and I'm going to go back into my learning path and paste it here. So here is the link that students can click on to get their own copy. So I'm going to show you what happens. When you click on the link, let's see, it will force the students to make a copy. Would you like to make a copy? Make a copy. Now everybody has their own copy. So I'm going to make a copy like I'm a student. And now I have my copy of my brain dump, and the student would just type everything they know about symmetry. And now the purpose of the learning path is for everything to be available in one spot. So the students have to be able to give their work back. And so all they have to do is click share and get shareable link and copy the link. And then they're going to paste it as part of, when they're finished with it, they can paste it here to show that they completed the work. Now you'll need to tell them to do that, so you can use text boxes that once you're finished, get your shareable link and paste it below. Okay, so now I've told the students what to do. They're gonna get their copy, they're gonna do it once you're finished, and then the student, when they're getting ready to turn their work in, can paste their copy here so that when you're going back and reviewing their work, you can open their link and check out what they did. So everything is all here in one place. So the last thing I want to show you in this lesson is how you can use your regular resources that are paper-based. So say you have a printed copy of something that you want to digitize and put in your learning path. So to do that, I use a program called Scanner, and it's a program, it's an app actually that you can download on your phone, and it's free. But basically you just take a picture of it and then you can upload it to your Google Drive. That makes it really easy to import into your learning path. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how you can use Scanner. So the first thing you're going to do is open up your app, Scanner. You can get this straight from the App Store. Okay, and so to get started, you'll click the circle camera button in the bottom and you'll get your pick pages ready to scan. So you can choose between single or batch. Single is if you just have one page. Batch is for multiple pages. Since this quiz has 2 pages, we're going to choose batch, and then we're going to take our pictures both at the same time. So I'm just going to take my first picture, and then I'm going to switch to the second page and take the second picture. Once I've taken both pictures, I can click Finish in the bottom corner. Okay, now I can see them both and I have to decide what I want to do with them. So click the 3 circles in the bottom that says More. And I'm going to choose to upload them. So I'm clicking Upload and then I'm going to choose Google Drive. Now you have to choose between a JPEG or a PDF. Since we're not doing anything with this other than giving a kids the copy of a file, we can click PDF File. Okay, and now we're going to click Upload here in the top corner. It will automatically upload to your Google Drive. It's that easy. So on my plan, one of the things I wanted students to do in their learning path was to take a quiz. So I uploaded that quiz using my Scanner. I took a picture, uploaded it into my Google Drive, and it's there. So now I just want to put that into my learning path. So I created a slide that I labeled quiz, and in a text box, I said click here to open the new quiz in a new tab. So all I have to do is go look at that quiz. So here it is, it uploaded into my Google Drive. So when I click on it, I can click up here where it says get shareable link. And this is the shareable link right here. So I'm going to select it and copy it. Now all I have to do is go back into my slide. I'm going to select this and then I'm going to use the insert link button and then just paste it there. Once I click apply, it will link it. So when students are working through their path to see the quiz, they click it and then they click it and then it opens in a new tab so that they can see it really well. But you don't have to use a clickable. If I wanted to just put a picture of the quiz on the slide, I could do that too instead of having it open in a new tab. Basically, you would just have to upload it from Scanner as a JPEG instead of a PDF, and then you would insert the JPEG just by clicking Insert, Image, and then you can find that in your drive as well. So you would just paste the picture and the picture is right on the slide. However, if you want them to be able to see it well and bigger, it might be better to use this strategy with having it open in a new tab. All right, so there is all of the different strategies that I was going to teach you, having students practice the skills. and all the different ways that you can think about sharing the information and having the students share their answers back with you. So the next lesson that we're going to go to is the lesson about assessment. So we want students to learn, we want students to practice, and then we want students to have some sort of assessment component where they can assess themselves and the teachers can assess them. And so stay tuned for lesson number 4.